Hello everyone, how are you? Well, we were expecting showers and cold breezes and grey overcast skies today, and we're very lucky because it's actually improving as the day goes on. And I've just got a very special delivery today, which I'm going to talk about later on, but it's in the context of flowers. So today is all about flowers. And I want to impress on you just how medicinal flowers can be as well. I remember very well years and years ago when I first heard that roses were medicinal, and I thought, roses medicinal? I thought they were just a flower. I thought they were just a lovely flower that you gave to somebody you loved, or you had them as a display in the house. I didn't realize they were medicinal. And of course, since then, over the years, I've discovered that not only are they medicinal on a physical level, they can help the cardiovascular system, but roses, for example, are also responsible for many other actions of healing in the body. They're very cooling, for example, they're very astringent, and they also help our health on an emotional and vibrational level. So just for example, somebody who might be suffering with grief, it's an emotional expression of loss, but they might feel it physically. Their heart might feel like it's a stone, that it's become constricted. They might feel pressure. And so rose medicine can help. So you could make a tincture with roses. But what I really want to talk about today is more the vibrational and energetical medicine that we can get from flowers. And those flowers can be anything from the humble daisy to the magnificent roses. So today I'm going to be talking about the healing power of flowers. And I'm going to bring you around the garden and show you some of the flowers that I think are really accessible to everybody and have many, many healing benefits. I just want to emphasize that ordinary little flowers that we might take for granted are also deeply, deeply healing on many levels for many reasons. And calendula that is here, these beautiful bright sunny orange and yellow flowers, calendula have been used probably for as long as roses have, since time immemorial, for many types of healing, again on a physical level, but also on an emotional or vibrational level. So we are holistic beings. We're made up of many layers. So we're not just physical with physical ailments. We're also mental, emotional, and spiritual beings. And so the best way for somebody to heal themselves is to bear in mind that we have all these different facets. And if anybody's ever used the Bach flower remedies or Bach flower remedies, however you want to say it, Dr. Bach believed that all physical illness occurred because there was an imbalance, there was something going on at a vibrational level, either on the mental or emotional body, and that had to be addressed before the physical healing could take place. So this little bunch of flowers here, it's just a little box of dianthus. It smells divine. Oh my God, I'm instantly back as a 5 or 6 year old running around the park. And you have all these beautiful colours, so it's pleasing to the eyes, it's pleasing to the senses, and it can just uplift the spirits just by looking at it and spending a few minutes with it. So that is the power of this particular flower. And if we go over here, there's a beautiful rose bush. And here's a lovely rose bush. This is here for ornamental purposes, but again, it's the colour, it's the multitude of blossoms that really lift up the spirits. And I think I might take a little sprig for my little altar inside in the house. So come on, there's more to see. Oh, look, here's a little borage. And borage is a beautiful bluey purple flower. Sometimes it turns pink, and the bees absolutely love it. But for us, on an emotional level, it's great for courage, and it raises the spirits. It used to be put into mead and drinks in the olden days to make merry spirits. But it's also great for the adrenals as a physical medicine. So borage is one of those flowers that has multiple applications, like the poppy. The poppy is so beautiful. When God made the poppies, the creative flair is off the scale. There's so much detail. There's so many things going on in a poppy, and then it's so restorative for sleep. Come on. So now here's the oxeye daisy, and here is the little daisy that we all grew up with making daisy chains. And you can see they're very, very, very similar. They're just different sizes. This one is used for, it's like our arnica. It's used for bumps and bruises and also for coughs in children. But again, it's another little flower that just lifts the spirits. It's like, it's just so cheerful. The yellow of the sun and the white, it's just so beautiful, even though it's just the humble daisy. And it's the same with the buttercups. Now, we wouldn't use buttercup physically because it can be very purging and it can be very burning to the mouth. But look at it growing. Oh, it just, that bright, cheerful sunniness is just something you can't buy, really. You have to see it. And the glossy, glossy, beautiful petals are just something else. And look here, we've got the most tiniest of little flowers on this plantain bud. You may not think of those as flowers, those little tiny white petals, but there they are. And here is a tiny little herb Robert flower. So I suppose the main gift from the flowers is that they touch our heart and they cheer us up and they make us feel really positive and happy. And some of them have the properties that can work on the physical body as well. Here we've got evening primrose. This it's a medicinal plant. It's also an edible plant. We can put the leaves into our salads and enjoy them enjoy the medicine as food. We can also use the root, and we can use the seeds. You know, people have heard of evening primrose oil seed capsules. But the flowers are very luminescent at night because it's a nighttime. It normally blooms in the nighttime, and you get the night pollinators coming to it. You see that all of these other buds are still asleep. This one is open because it's been so overcast up until now. So this can be used for the physical body, for women's issues, particularly, but it's also another beauty that affects us on a mental and emotional level. Same with the clover here. Red clover, very beloved of bees. It's very sweet. Again, we can put these flowers into our salad and we can enjoy the nourishing medicine in our food. It's also wonderful for skin issues, for whooping cough, and particularly for women's hormonal issues. So it's multiple applications like most plants. But just looking at it as well, it's very, very beautiful. It's like, when you're going for a country walk and you see all the clover scattered, it's almost like a little trail of rubies or precious topaz or, colourful stones. Smells very sweet and honeyish. So that's a beauty as well. I have another rose over here, which is called an apothecary rose, and I use that for making tinctures. So I'm just going to get a few flower heads while it's dry and bright. So many plants are coming into flower now in June. This is another beautiful rose. It needs a lot of deadheading, but I'll just take a few of the blooms. Just deadhead this one. So there's lots of ways to make medicine. Most people will have heard of flower essences, where we're using just the flowers to make a remedy to balance emotions that are maybe, swinging out of balance. And I've also got this new, exciting delivery that's just arrived, and I'd love to show you it. So I'm sure you're aware by now that I love plants and I love working with plants as medicine. So I make tinctures, which is a very potent medicine using plants and flowers. And teas, of course, we can dry the plants for teas. And then there are flower essences that Dr. Bach was instrumental in reviving. And those flower essences are wonderful because if you have an emotional imbalance, whether you're feeling fear or anxiety or a lack of self-esteem, or you're worrying about people, or you can't make your mind up, for example, there's a flower essence for all of those myriad of feeling experiences. And so I make flower essences and I sell flower essences and I make tinctures and teas, but I've wanted to do something different which particularly suits flowers for some time. So this is my new piece of equipment, which is a copper alembic for distilling from flowers and from plants. So making a hydrolat. And this is a type of medicine that can be used particularly for children because you maybe don't want to give them a tincture, maybe a glycerite takes too long, whereas when you're distilling plant material to get a water, it's a very quick process. So let's have a look at some of this. So this is an alembic still for distilling flowers and plant material. I have to find out how it all fits together, and then I can start distilling waters from plants and from flowers. So you would have heard of rose water or lavender water, orange water. These are floral waters that people use in a beauty routine. But you don't forget, you can also use those waters for healing as well. So, for example, if you had a skin issue, a sore, or a burn, for example, calendula water would be something wonderful to use to clean the wound before applying a calendula salve to relieve the wound or the burn. You could use roses, obviously, for a rose water, but for psoriasis, if somebody had, because clover is so wonderful for psoriasis, I would make it into a cream or a salve, but you could also make a water so that if you need to wash the skin, instead of using harsh tap water, you could use a clover water. So all the benefits of the plants and the flowers that you would have usually, if you distill them, you've got another weapon in your arsenal against ill health. So I'm so excited. Can't wait to start using this. The waters can replace tinctures. They're not the same potency, of course, but they can still bring lots of relief. It's something you could sip on during the day. If you don't like strong teas, you can still sip on the distilled water. So it's just so exciting for me. And I'm going to have to leave you there and have a good look at all of this. I'm not sure which, though it goes that way. So I will play around with this and I'll let you know next week how it all turns out. And hopefully by then I'll have some waters made. Plant waters and floral waters for use in many holistic ways. So I hope you're enjoying the flowers in your garden, and when you're out and about, don't forget to really look at them and appreciate all their beauty on the many different levels that they offer their beauty gifts. And just a couple of things that are coming up in the near future. At the beginning of July, I'm at the Yoga Picnic, which is here in Ireland, and I'll be giving a talk about plant wisdom and the healing practices in Old Ireland. And then at the end of July, I'm doing a weekend workshop to celebrate the festival of Lunasa. And I'll put the details below, and if you're interested, it'd be lovely to see you there. So for now, I'm going to bring this inside and have a good look at it, and I'll see you next week. I hope you enjoyed today's film. If you did, subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. And have a look at the website danusirishherbgarden.com for more information about us and about the herbal medicine courses I offer and the Wise Woman Way training. And if you go to the shop, you can find the books, the weed handbooks and other herbal goodies. And remember, we put a new film out every Sunday. So looking forward to seeing you next week.